Hey guys, welcome to WaterBaby Tarot by BOMISpirit. I'm Rodin. So today I want to do a different kind of video. I wanted to talk about Venus and Gemini. The only reason I'm doing a video on this is because last night in the Patreon live that I was doing, Venus and Gemini and that whole retrograde period became really highlighted. And some of the big stuff that's coming up during that retrograde period seems to be very vital for us on individual levels and how it relates to the collective at large. So let's just talk about it real quick. I know I've talked about it quite a bit in my other videos, but I was like, let me do a special video on this since it seems to be such a big deal. And again, I don't want you to take it as like, oh my God, what is it? Like, no, just like, it's something significant, but I wanted to bring to your attention because even in like the way it came out in the live, we were doing a spread and like the whole reason it was coming out was because, hey, you need a heads up of what's coming so you understand how to handle this shit. Just for everyone's betterment, So with Venus and Gemini, Venus is now in Gemini. It's going to retrograde May 13th. Believe it's the 13th. Could be the 12th. I think it's the 13th though. And then it will go direct in June, and then it's going to be in the post-shadow energy, and then it's going to finally leave Gemini in August, and it's going to go into Cancer, okay? So that's a lot of time for Venus to be sitting in Gemini and then having a retrograde energy along with it for most of that time. Now, retrogrades, and I've said this before, but if you're new, I think you'll find this video helpful. If you're new, retrogrades are not something to be afraid of. It's just a time to grow, honestly. It's just a time to grow. It's a time to learn. It's a time of reflection. It's a time where an aspect of your life is either slowing down or you're experiencing confusion or challenges or something, a part of your life is being like shoved in your face because you're supposed to deal with it or you're supposed to see some more clarity about it to understand it a little bit more and to grow from that experience and grow from what you're going through in that area of your life. Now, Venus, relationships, as we know. Venus is feminine energy. It's about relationships. It's love. It's creation. It's art. It's also the things that make us feel really good. You know, the things that we, can be labeled as things that can become toxic because it makes us feel so good. We become very like more like devilish about it, like those kinds of things, right? Now, Gemini is very cerebral energy. I actually find Gemini energy to be very loving. I love Gemini energy when it's high vibe. When it's high vibe, Gemini energy can understand all perspectives of a situation, all the pieces of the puzzle. They understand everyone involved. They can adapt to different kinds of people, different types of situations. That is the epitome of unity consciousness, right? Is healthy, high vibe Gemini energy. Now, on the flip side, retrograde periods also bring up shadowy energies of that sign or that planet. What's a shadowy energy of Gemini? Well, they're the twins, polarity. So what's going to be highlighted during this period, and honestly also what's going to be highlighted for the whole, I think it's the 18 months of like the nodes being in Gemini and Sagittarius, that's also going to be highlighted with this. The nodes switch on May 5th to Gemini and Sag out of Cancer Capricorn, coming out of a time where we have been focusing on self-love and not being controlled and getting away from codependency and dominance and me, mine, and attachment, right? We've been moving away from that. We've learned those lessons. Now, coming into May 5th, we're going to switch into Gemini and Sag. A lot of what's going to be going down are challenging events that challenge our understanding of polarity versus unity, which is basically just understanding how this dimension, how our reality is organized, polarity, versus higher dimensions and how they're organized, unity. Okay, that's going to be the gist mostly of what's going on with these nodes. And so Venus being in Gemini is going to kind of usher in that energy of, hey, here's the shadowy parts of yourself that lean into polarity and lean into ego, because ego sometimes can also really enable polarity, because ego is it's honestly it's part of our survival mechanism. Ego is not a bad thing. We really do need it in this reality, in this 3D reality. We really need it because the ego basically is like, hey, danger, along with your intuition, danger. If your ego is unhealthy, then you start acting out and then you fall into pathologies and dysfunctions and all of that because you've been so hurt that your ego's overdeveloped, right? So as long as you have a healthy ego, it's fine. But our egos are important. But this shadowy retrograde period is going to bring up your ego in a shadowy way, or the parts of yourself that are still needing some fine-tuning and needing some work they're not aware of. Regarding polarity, regarding them versus me, right? So we're going to see people lean into this polarity in an extreme way. We're going to see the collective lean into it in a very extreme way. Now, this does serve a purpose. I know that sounds terrible. It's going to be a little rough for a little while. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a little rough. But the benefit of people leaning into it in an extreme way is that it's going to be so highlighted that, oh, this is not the way to be. This whole you versus them, me versus the world, like that doesn't work. It doesn't work. And we're going to realize that. But my point is this is going to come up for you in your individual lives. Parts of yourself that are like this. I can already feel some of you guys go, I'm not like that. Careful with that. We all have those parts of ourselves that are like that. It's just the truth. I have it. You got it. Many people have it. And it's going to come out. All right. It's going to come out. People might see more arrogant energy about themselves or other people. A lot more like fickle energy, kind of like I'm just going to write people off because it's me versus them. You know, instead of understanding that all of you are me, I am all of you, right? Understanding that unity and understanding that we're all connected. So like I said, it's going to be rough, but it's going to be fine. It's nothing to worry about. It's just a time to grow from it. So as this comes up within you, it's really important to address your own polarity and the way that you still enable polarity consciousness within yourself. And with everybody waking up too, it's also just going hand in hand with the shit that needs to get sorted out. So as this comes up within you, please deal with it. Please face it, because if you are able to face it within yourself and you're able to work through it, the people you're energetically connected to, because we are all connected, will feel that. They will feel that. And the more people that do it, it will just help the entire collective sort of elevate their own shit into facing their issues around polarity consciousness and how they kind of fall into it, how their egos get overinflated and all of that. And then as we're all doing that, we're going to just get even further to unity consciousness. Okay. So that's kind of why I wanted to just put this little video out there. So I know I was spewing a lot of stuff at you. I know I was. Also, guys, throat chakra stuff is coming up. Don't be surprised because Venus is in Gemini and retrogrades also will do that if it's like retrograding in a mercurial signs like Gemini, Virgo. So pay attention to that. That's also just been going on with everything with the collective, like a lot of like throat, heart, and solar plexus stuff. I just felt the need to mention that to you as a total side note. So anyway, that's it. That's it. That's all I have to say. So yeah, hang in there, face your stuff. The more you face that polarity ego within you, the better the whole collective is going to be. It's literally going to help people to help you help yourself in that arena. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to see you later. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it insightful and helpful. Don't forget to check out Vimeo and Patreon, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, guys. Namaste.